I recently received an email from a student and he just wasn't feeling good. He came to Germany and it's been one semester now and he still cannot just adjust in the whole environment here. This is not something that is only happening to you. There are a lot of students who face it in their lifetime. Alina faced it, I faced it whenever we went out, and this is something that is just normal. Whenever you go out to a new city or to a new country and you're just thrown into a completely new culture, you don't understand the people, you don't understand what they expect from you, you don't understand how they will behave and stuff. So this is something that is completely normal, that you start missing your family, you start missing your friends, you start missing your food, you start feeling lonely and stuff. So in this video, I and Alina, we both wanted to share our homesickness stories because I think Alina's story is way more interesting than mine. We'll start with Alina's story and I'll keep poking her to get more stuff out of it. For those of you who don't know, Alina actually went to America when she was in school for an exchange.
When I was 16, I went to the US for 1 year and I went to the junior class, that means 11th standard, and I had 2 different types of host families, and my first host family I stayed for 3 months and the other one I stayed for 9 months. And when I came to the US, I was feeling very lonely the first 3 months and I really wanted to go back home to Germany.
No, but I don't think it's always like that. Like when you, I think when you landed, I think you were like really happy and stuff.
No, because I went to New York first with my friend. We had so much fun. I was laughing the whole trip. I had the time of my life. Then that trip was only for 5 days. Then I came to my host family. Then slowly the jet lag came because we didn't sleep in New York so much. And then the jet lag hit me when I was in my first host family. I think I slept for 2 days. I didn't wake up. I was sleeping so much. When I came first there, we went to the supermarket for some school supplies. And there was a lady, she was at the counter, she was a cashier, and she was like, "Hi, how are you?" and things like that. And she was telling me that she really likes my dress and where I bought it and things like that. And such things I don't know from Germany, because here people are more on the colder side and they will never ask you how are you, just like that. It's really weird to ask somebody how are you. And they will also never give you a compliment like that. So I was very surprised by that, and I was asking my host mom, is this normal? Do people do this here? And when I started going to high school, it was so weird. I had no friends and somehow I couldn't like make friends also. I don't know why, because my English language was very
How
bad.
was your English? Try to speak a sentence.
I cannot. The thing is, in Germany we have English, I think, from 2nd grade onwards, and you just think it's enough. And when I came there, my English was so broken and so bad that I couldn't even communicate properly.
And I think that is also a huge...
I had very good grades in English in my school, so I was like, oh, my English is nice. But when I went to the US, it was so bad.
No, I think the language is also a huge part of why people start feeling homesick, or why they feel like they cannot talk to others or make friends.
And then I had like history class and they had such extreme words which I have never heard in my life before, and it was so difficult to keep up, and my grades were not good either. I mean, the whole year. And then I was always sitting alone at lunch, and sometimes I used to go, okay, that's very disgusting, but I used to go to the bathroom and eat there because I used to feel so, I don't know, I just didn't used to feel good outside, and people were talking to each other and I was always sitting alone, and then some people came up and bothered me and I didn't like that. I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and weird people were there. And then sometimes I even used to eat my food in my backpack. I used to put my hat inside the backpack and I used to eat. That's so weird, I don't know.
Like in the canteen?
Outside there used to be a little garden and I used to sit there.
Alone?
Yeah, of course, alone. And
that's sad.
Yeah, so I was doing that. Only after 3 months I remember that night still. A few girls from school came and they rang my bell because one of them was my neighbor, and they were like, do you want, we saw that you live here, do you want to come and hang out with us? And then we went on the truck of my friend, and then we were laughing so much and we had so much fun. And from that moment onwards, after 3 months, I started making friends. And from then, and the whole time I wanted to go back, but I was like feeling like, okay, I don't want to let my parents down. They spend so much money. If I go back, then all this money will be lost, so I have to do it. And I was so happy in the end I didn't go back.
That's something, eating your lunch in the toilet and stuff. I mean, my story wasn't a lot different either. So as soon as the 12th grade ended and, you know, everybody's going to their first engineering universities or institutes in their first year, and they're trying to meet new people and stuff. Because of this screw up in 11th and 12th grade, like, you are supposed to read a lot, you almost don't see the light of the day because you're just all the times putting your heads in the books. But still, in the end, it didn't work out. I got the AIEEE rank of somewhere around 43,434. Like, the number was so nice, 43434. And after that, I got into DCRUS. Like, I was trying to aim for NIT and stuff, just didn't work out. And all of my friends who were studying with me, either they went to NIT or they went to IIT. So everybody who is watching this video from India, they know already how big of a deal that is, especially when all of your friends are in those institutes and you just go to a state university. Again, it's better than a private university, but still. First year started, like, we got late admission because we were still in physical counseling and stuff. Like, we didn't get the place in the university at the starting. So in the end counseling, we got the seat and classes had already started. And when I just went there, it was just a very, very bad atmosphere. Not in the sense that the students were bad or something. Like, the hostel was in a complete trash situation. So when you wanted to go to toilet in the morning, there wouldn't be any water. There will be huge drums in which you have to take water from and then, like, do your business and stuff. Then again, food will be at 8 o'clock. From 8 to 9 there is food. If you go later, there will be no food. So, like, you have to get used to that stuff too. And then the classes started, groups were already there because we came late again. It was the same story like here. Classes had already started from July, and I and Yaman and some 3-4 other guys, we entered the university at somewhere around 1st September. So, like, everybody had their own groups, everybody had their friends. And my roommate was Anuj. He was studying electrical engineering, I was studying civil engineering. So again, in that thing, there was no connection, like we weren't both from civil engineering or something. Yeah, it was difficult. Like, the first few months, it was just so difficult. I felt like, first of all, I lost everything because I didn't get into an NIT or an IIT, which is not true at all. I mean, I might be living a life right now which is way better than some of the students in those institutes. So that was my mentality, that was my mindset, that okay, like, I failed in my 12th, I failed in my 11th, now what I'm going to do, it's the engineering, and I don't know, there's just this feeling of low self-worth and stuff like that, and then combined with a new atmosphere which you're not used to. It was really tough for me. I used to go in my room and, like, cry at times, but Anuj and there was one more friend, Ayush, like, they were really supportive throughout the way. That thing just, like, happened for the first semester. Afterwards, from the second semester onwards, I found some friends. I found Bharat, Sanjeet, Vishal and others. Yeah, there were some other friends, like, with whom I'm still in contact with. Like, the friends you make in bachelors, you stay with them your whole life. The main point is homesickness. Whoever thinks like it is not a real thing, it definitely is. It really depends on a person's ability on how he can handle it. For example, for me, it was tough. For Kiki, like for my younger brother, you know, he's also going out of home for the first time, and he used to live with my uncle and aunt for a while, but then he moved out. But for Kiki, it was like way easier. He didn't had to like think about these things a lot. He wasn't feeling down, or he wasn't worrying about how I'm going to do things. I'm alone here. How will I make friends? I don't know how to talk to people, or I don't know how to communicate with them, how they will be thinking, how they will react to my questions and stuff, you know. So like all these things combined can be a huge burden for you in person. Get out already. Get out. I don't have time. So that's what we wanted to say, like homesickness, it is a real thing. Like we couldn't still like explain our whole stories in complete detail because we can make a whole documentary out of it. There's so many memories, I think, especially I think when you're down, you know, you remember things way more than when you're happy, because when you're happy, like
Of course.
you just take it as granted, and when you're sad, you just notice every single wrong
People
thing that is
always
happening to
remember
you.
negative things more than positive things.
Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's what I wanted to say, that if anybody of you who will be coming here, you know, some students are coming on 3rd March, some are already flying on 28th Feb and stuff, but whoever is coming here and they face problems like that in the starting or even after a few months, the first thing or the best thing to do is to contact the Zentrale Studienberatung. It's like your student counseling services in the university. There will be some psychologists and stuff. You can just go and talk to them. In India, it is still a taboo that you go and you talk to a psychologist and like there's
When you
something
have
wrong with you.
depression,
Yeah. Like it is normal. Everybody goes through it.
normal.
I think you guys know by now what I am trying to do on this channel is to try and build a community and like not to promote some kind of business through it.
But this thing we will actually do together.
Exactly. So
I think I mostly, but
I think that whole homesickness part hit Alina in an earlier age than me. So I think she understands it way better. So just to do our own part in helping you feel comfortable in Germany, because you know, we are here, we are more like your bhaiya and bhabhi right now. So whoever is feeling sick or whoever is feeling troubled or just not right or feeling lonely or something, you know, I will put this email address in the description so that you can just take that email address, write to us if you're feeling down or lonely or anything.
yeah, just write what's on your heart and we will try to help you out or
Yeah.
say some nice words to you.
Exactly.
Maybe we can even Skype.
Yeah, I mean, that is also not a problem at all.
But this email shouldn't be misused. Like for educational questions, there are other sources for that. This email is only for like homesickness or depression or whatever.
So yeah, guys, we just wanted to make this short video because we wanted to address this issue, that this is a real thing when you're away from India, when you're in a new culture, new society.
Yeah, and German culture is not the easy culture. It's not extremely warm culture for sure. It's a little bit on the colder side. People are not as communicative. No? Communicative as in India, and nobody will just speak to you like that. It will not be easy at all.
I mean, that thing is true. I was in the German speaking masters program for the first time, all Germans around, and it wasn't as hospitable at all as you will feel in an international or even in an Indian course when you were studying your bachelor or something, you know. Yeah, I mean, this thing is true. They are colder, they don't really bother much to get to know you and stuff like that.
Everybody is like a lone fighter.
Yeah, a lone wolf or something. Like they just want to do everything for themselves. They have their own plans. They don't really care if you're in the class, if you're not, like everything's the same. Like Indians tend to develop better relationships. They want to be friends with their colleagues. They want to be friends with their batchmates and stuff. Germans are completely different. I think Alina can tell you more about it. Like definitely, she has been living here way more than I have ever lived.
Till this day, I still don't have one single German friend. I don't know. I don't want to speak bad about Germans, but it's just how it is in my case. I don't have any German friends. I only have foreigners as friends and immigrants and...
Yeah, when I just came here and I was telling Alina, why don't you talk to Germans? Why don't you have German friends and stuff? And she was telling me, no, Rishu, you don't understand. And I was like, okay, I will go to the university and I will have a lot of friends. But it turned out to be the same situation. And it's not like I don't like to talk to people or I don't like to mingle with people and stuff. It's just like how they are. You know, you can talk to them, you can say hi, hello, but still, like, making friendships is not easy, or I don't know.
It's possible for sure,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, again, there are like different kind of German people and stuff, but like most of the times, I think at least 90% of them, they are just cold.
and I also think cultural difference is a huge problem. Like, for example, even if I would make friends with Germans, there would always be this cultural difference, and I don't know.
The way they expect you to behave, or the way they expect you to react, or the way you expect them to react to different kind of things, these are just completely different things, because you have lived your whole life in a completely different country, they have lived in a completely different country with different set of values and culture. So yeah, this was just something that we wanted to talk to you, and if anybody has any kind of doubts or queries or questions, you can write it down in the comment section. And if there's something more personal, you're already in Germany, you're going through homesickness, or even if you're in India, you're still feeling homesick and stuff, you can just write to us and let us try to help you. Well guys, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video, whatever the topic would be about. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. We'll really appreciate that. Okay, Bhaiya and Bhabhi out.
Bye.
Bye.